Kenzie.
Madam Speaker, last year the Liberals imposed a ban on military chaplains from reciting prayers at Remembrance Day. Chaplains, veterans and Canadians immediately fought back and the government relented, well, for a year. But the directive is back. These Liberals are imposing their ideological ban yet again. Remembrance Day is a time for reflection and healing and hope. And for many veterans, praying is part of that journey. Will the government end its attack on the vocation of chaplains and allow them the freedom to pray?
Yeah. L'honorable secrétaire parlementaire du ministre de la Défense nationale.
Madam Speaker, I want to take this opportunity first to thank our members and our veterans for their service and their sacrifice. But let's be absolutely clear. The Chaplain General issued this directive independently, and it does not ban prayer. Actually, the directive simply seeks to help our CAF chaplains make their public addresses more inclusive to reflect the spiritual diversity of Canadians and our CAF members, Madam President.
L'honorable député de Grande Prairie Mackenzie.
After relenting last year, Madam Speaker, the Liberal Minister of Defence promised, and I quote, chaplains are not and will not be banned from prayer on Remembrance Day, but that isn't true. They've now issued an even more draconian order saying that chaplains will be monitored and disciplinary measures will be imposed on those who say the word God or those who pray. Shame. This censorship is unthinkable. Will the government finally relent, end their attack on the work of chaplains, and allow them the freedom to pray?
Yeah. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Madame la Présidente, je prends...
Madam Speaker, let me just once again take the opportunity to thank the members of the Armed Forces.
St. Albert Edmonton to please calm down and to please wait. If he's not being recognized, he should not be speaking. L'honorable secrétaire.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary can start over, please. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me just take the opportunity once more to thank members of the Armed Forces and our veterans. I'd like to thank them for their service and their sacrifice.
Absolutely not true what this member is saying or alleging, and I feel this ashamed that they are proclaiming this. As we said, we have not banned prayer. We are looking out to reflect the diversity of our CAF, and this is a directive that comes from the Chaplain General. Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Let me move to another topic that's very pertinent with Remembrance Day coming up. In France, for the official commemorations by the Government of Canada for the 80th anniversary of D-Day, there were no prayers said by the military chaplains present. Now, at other ceremonies that were held by our allies or by other organizations, there were, in fact, prayers said. Can you tell me why that's the case? Why was there no prayers said by the military chaplains at these ceremonies put on by the Government of Canada?
Well, I would say, Mr. Richards, that I attended many of those ceremonies with you while we were in France, and prayers are moments of reflection. I really don't necessarily remember the exact words that the chaplains have said, but in no way were any chaplains within the Canadian Armed Forces told that they were not allowed or permitted to say words of prayers. If they chose to make statements of reflection or prayers, either or are absolutely appropriate and available. So then, Minister, it's your contention that there was no directive that they from your department that they could not. In fact, like I know there is a directive that is in existence, of course, put out by the Chaplain General of the Canadian Armed Forces that indicates prayers are not to be read by the chaplains at those types of ceremonies. Is it your contention that Veterans Affairs did not
is not bound by that directive and did not make any direction to the chaplains that they couldn't pray, that the chaplains themselves chose not to? Is that your contention?
Mr. Richards, just like you and many members of this committee, we attend many Remembrance Day events across the country, and prayers are oftentimes a part of those services. With respect to the prayers and the moments of reflection that happened...
My apologies for interruption, but we're talking about these services specifically. They were put on by your department, I believe, were they not?
I can tell you clearly, Mr. Richards, that we did not give any direction to the Chaplain General indicating that they were not allowed to give prayers. That is absolutely clear. Did not come from our department.
Okay. So the chaplains that were there made the choice on their own to not pray at those ceremonies. Is that what you're saying?
Moments of reflection as well, Mr. Richards, are prayers.
Okay. Well, we'll have to agree to disagree on that one.